Didn't do that. Hi guys, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a book haul for what I've purchased during the beginning of the year to now. It is always so hard to keep track of all the books that I buy because I don't really put them in a section where I'm like, okay, these are the books that I'm going to book haul. So I'm pretty much 99% sure that these are the books that I bought and that I haven't missed out on anything. But that 1% is me downing myself. So all of the books that I'm going to show you are books that I bought at the local bookstore Dimmicks. So I've actually stopped buying a lot of books online purely because Dimmicks is a lot more easier for me to access. I can get points off there. You know, my points accumulate to dollar amounts that I can take off the total amount of the books that I'm buying. And because they had quite a lot of sales, especially during the end of the year of 2016 then over into 2017, so these are in no particular order, but let's get started. First up we have the Lies of Lockemora by Scott Lynch, and this is the first book in his fantasy series. When I first read this, I immediately went onto Goodreads to see what everyone was writing about the reviews, and then I got sucked in. So basically I think this follows a main character who steals from the rich, and as a myth he's supposed to give back to the poor, but he doesn't actually give back to the poor. It goes towards his band of thieves, the Gentlemen Bastards, and he just follows his adventures. But the Goodreads reviews are so good that I was like, okay, I definitely need to pick this up to read it. I haven't read it yet. I do want to get to it this year, but hopefully it's good so that I can continue the series. But I just picked this out on a whim. And then we have V. Schwab's new series, A Darker Shade of Magic, and this one is A Gathering of Shadows. So I bought this one first, hoping to read this one sometime during this year, and I didn't. And then Dimmicks had a 25% off sale for all their fantasy books, so I got the second one as well. I don't know anything about this, but I know that it is a very popular series just because V. Schwab wrote it. So I don't know heaps about this. Great, I just buy books purely because of the fact that I have heard a lot of people say that it's really good, and I do like V. Schwab's writing. I have read her book Vicious, so hopefully I really enjoy these. Going on from the fantasy role, we have YA Fantasy, and this is Three Dark Crowns by Kandara Blake. If you haven't watched my March wrap-up April TBR, this is actually one of the books that I want to read during this month. I have started it. Maybe it's because I've read a lot of adult books so far this year that now that I'm reading this again, the writing itself doesn't seem to be that great to me. It does seem to be targeted towards a younger audience, and I don't know how I feel about that. Basically in every generation there's a set of triplets that are born, and those three are destined to become queens, but they will have to battle each other out and pretty much kill each other in order to become the queen. Three main characters have different powers, and you sort of get to know that or learn about that. I really need to silence my phone. I'm hoping this is going to be good. I hope I can get past the writing and maybe the plot will pick up, but so far it hasn't really, you know, caught my attention just yet. I'm only reading it just to see where it goes, and hopefully I'm not too bored while I read it. I was on a massive fantasy buying spree this year, but this is Stealing Snow by Danielle Page, and this is a retelling of Snow White. So Danielle Page does a lot of retellings actually. She wrote the Dorothy Must Die series, which is based off Wizard of Oz, and I haven't really finished that series either. I really hope this is good because it's a really different take to Snow White. So she's locked up in psychiatric ward, and then the love of her life disappears and she has to go try and find him. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I got this on sale, 3 for 2. Next up we have The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, and this is by Leslie Walton. Yes, I have read this. I have loved it. It is a retelling or recount of 3 different generations. So Ava Lavender's grandma, her mum, and then herself, and their love stories and the romances that they follow through. And it's such a heartbreaking but also hauntingly beautiful novel. I have written a whole review about it, and I'll leave a link to it down below. But I really did enjoy this, and I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars purely because of how good it is. Yeah, like reading it made me really sad. And then we have the most anticipated Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth, the author of the Divergent series. Again, fantasy. Again, have no idea what it's about. Bought it because everybody raved on about it and it was new, and it was at a really okay price as well. Australian Australian bookstores tend to mark up their prices a lot due to our taxes and stuff, so a lot of books end up being like 20-25 bucks or even $30, and that is quite a lot, which is why a lot of us tend to buy books off book depository and such, because I can't justify spending that much. But this was $19. It was, you know, a grab. So the next one I got is Terry Goodkind's Death's Mistress, Sister of Darkness, and I'm pretty sure I got this because they were doing a buy 2 books get the second half price, which is why I got Carve the Mark and then this one. God, I really should know the synopsis to these before I talk to you guys about it. So basically the protagonist is Nikki, who's sort of like a warrior. She, you know, swore to destroy a man and then she ended up falling in love with him, but then the whole world has changed now. Just follows her adventures there. I picked this up as well because I think I did read Goodreads reviews on it before I ended up buying it. I don't tend to buy a lot of fantasy novels unless I do a lot of research on it, purely because I know that it can go really wrong and I really want to know that I would enjoy it before I buy it. I also picked up Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman, and I know that this one has been on everybody's read list since last year, ages ago, so it is one of those books where BookTube made me buy it. I really hope I like it. I feel like I'm falling out of love with YA fantasy the more that I, you know, go though, so we'll see how we go. Recently I just bought The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and this one is a classic where the main character only has one purpose in her life, and that's to breed, and then she meets 2 men who pretty much changes her life. I really wanted to read this more because of, I guess, like feminine, or maybe not feminist viewpoints, but just to see female empowerment in novels, because I don't really read a lot of them, but also as a sci-fi novel I feel like this will be really interesting. Again, it was on sale. Can you see the trend here? But I really have high hopes for this because I know that a lot of people do love it and it is a classic for a reason. We have A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. This is the Man Booker Prize 2015 award. It recounts 7 different stories of 7 killings of people who live in the slums, the CIA agents, etc, etc, and it just follows, you know, those different characters and what their life is really like. I haven't got around to reading this yet. I really do want to read this though. This is probably one of those books where it's like up there on my to be read list, you know, mainly because it's the Man Booker Prize Award book, but also because I have a really big fascination around crime and, you know, crime history and things like that, so I really hope that I will enjoy this as well. Another classic, this is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I think I picked this up purely because I had to have another book added on to what I wanted to buy, so I was like, okay, let's get this. Don't know anything about it, know it's a classic, know that it's a short read, so I might enjoy it then, and also because it's a Penguin books and I am building my collection for Penguin's books as well. We have The Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee, and this one here is interesting. I really did like the setup of this. I'm only halfway through and then I gave up because I didn't like the writing. It was a bit juvenile for me as well. But basically it's like this building, so it's set in the future, you know, people live in different areas of New York and stuff like that, but if you live in the top buildings you are the richest, and then go down, then you can also, like, the world is spread out and you can go to Central Park and stuff like that. I think the way that they explained it is that it's a toss-up between Gossip Girl and something else, which I can totally see. So there's, you know, the cliques and stuff like that, but I also feel like it, and then this girl had Avery, the main character, has a secret, and you sort of get to know what the secret is about. The premise is really interesting, the setting is there, but I just don't know if the plot has enough substance for me to keep reading this. And then we have This House of Grief by Helen Garner. This is the story of a murder trial. I have spoken about this in my wrap-up. We'll be having a review for this come up very soon. I really did enjoy this. It is a non-fiction recount of the trial of a man who supposedly drove his car into a lake and killed his 3 sons, and he escaped himself. And this is a really interesting take for readers to sort of follow the trial as you sit there with Helen, as well as make up your own mind, because she doesn't really influence you and what's going on. So this is a really good take on that. My camera cut out on me, so now I think the lighting's a little weird. But lastly we have The Heroes of Olympus, and this is The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. I picked this up for like $6 in hard copy, so this is the best thing ever. I love Rick Riordan, I love all his writings. I definitely haven't read everything that is written, but this gives me a chance to because it's super cheap. I really also like the navy and then the gold writing. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. Is that better? That's better. So that's what it looks like there, which is really nice. I really do enjoy this. $6 is a bargain. But that is about it, guys. So taking a thumbnail for this is going to be a pain in the butt. So these are all the books that I bought for this year so far. I'm really controlling my book buying habits, so this isn't too bad, right? If you have any of these and you have an opinion about them or anything, just leave a comment down below letting me know. Also, if you have a book recommendation for me to buy, let me know as well. Otherwise, I shall see you guys soon, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye!